What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Drake and Jimmy Jew Show. My name is Drake Peterson, and that over there is Captain Jimmy Jew of the HMS Five Dimes. And as always, we are joined by our producer, Christopher McCone. And on today's episode, we are going to be getting the perspective of a convict. Let me tell you, I have been binging this man's content all day today. Joining us is the host of the all-new YouTube channel, The Convicts Perspective. Please welcome ex-member of the Nuestra Familia gang turned social activist, Rojo.
How you guys doing out there?
What up? How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Thank you.
So tell us about this new YouTube thing you got going on. Tell us about yourself.
Well, personally, man, I did 4 terms out here in California, man. I was a validated member of Nuestra Familia, like you said. And, after finally reaching about maybe 35 years old, I figured out that, man, this ain't no life. I got to try to do things like a grown man and be a productive member of society and, change my ways. I got 3 kids and I need to be an example for and take care of. And, me and my buddy Flaco had got together and we decided, we should share our experiences out there with people. And, I noticed there's a big genre on YouTube for people looking at gangs and prison and stuff like that with your Wes Watson kind of dudes and so on. And, I figured, man, maybe we can make a difference by sharing, the real side of it, that it's not all like, oh, I'm going to go join this gang and I'm going to be this bad motherfucker and, I'm going to be a shot caller and, whatever misconceptions people get about what it's really going to be like. It's like, I'm going to tell them straight up, man, it's a whole life full of bullshit, and there's only going to be 2 ways out. It's going to be a life term or death, and so I figured, if I could share mine and maybe, make a couple people think, well, at least if I go to prison, I won't do the gang thing. And, I'll just try to mind my own business, do my time and go home, which, is a smart thing to do, get back, pay your debt to society and get back on the streets. But, I've had a lot of messed up situations. And I think sharing a few of them, man, might, spark somebody to be like, man, I'm not going to take that route. But only time will tell if it works or not,
How does a white boy get into a predominantly, Mexican clique?
Yeah, good question. When I came out to California, I moved out here in '92, and some of the first people I ran into were norteños. And the norteños are basically, the pawns of the Nuestra Familia. So I came out, I met, a bunch of people, and I started hanging out with them, and I ended up going to jail, and they're like, well, you should kick it with us. And I'm just like, well, I already know most of you guys from the streets anyway, so it wouldn't be no different in kicking it with you guys in here than it would be on there. So I started running with them. And I come from Contra Costa County, man, which is a big, big white boy county. You know what I mean? So, right. Yeah, I'm
born and raised right here.
Yeah, I'm Concord, Pittsburgh, Martinez, Antioch. I've been all around, So, the white boys are really, really strong back in the early 90s in Contra Costa. So they used to kind of trip off me and they test me at first, but finally going to jail so many times and knowing so many of them, finally they're just like, fuck it, leave that dude alone. He's all right. And he'll fight. He ain't going to roll it up or nothing. So, I met a cool AB dude out of Pittsburgh named Robert Cole, and he kind of told the white boys too, just leave that guy alone, bro. He's, you know what I mean? Let him do his thing. And I just started kicking it, man. I go to jail. And once you're associated with a certain group of people, that's going to follow you. So it's not like, if all of a sudden I go to the pen, I see a lot of people do this too, is there'll be like one thing on the streets and one thing in the county and go to prison. And then they want to get in line, so to speak, with the traditional way things go in there. White boys are going to run with white boys, Northerns, blacks, and so on. You know what I mean? But I just kept doing my thing, man. And, opportunities presented themselves, man. I got into some trouble, ended up in some ad seg terms and, indeterminate shoot program at Pelican Bay. And I got offered the opportunity. And, like if you're striving to be something in a gang, like as far as our group of people, NF is the highest. So that's what you're going to strive for, so ultimately I achieved that.
How many years total were you in that gang?
I joined in '95 and my career ended probably officially about 04. So right under 10 years, right? 9.5, 10 years.
It's a good run.
Yeah, it was decent.
And how many of those years were you locked up?
Let's just call it 10. Nice round number. I would say 6.
Wow.
Probably about 6 of them.
Wow. So 6 years in there. And after what year did you start to realize, okay, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop like going in and out of prison. Like, and what was the turning point?
Well, I realized it on the streets probably. Okay. So here's a quick little, prelude to that. In 1996, when I got out of Pelican Bay, unbeknownst, how would you say that? Let's say it the right way. Unbeknownst to me, the FBI was following me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I was under nonstop surveillance from the time I paroled until the time I got picked up I got a little weak ass violation for a 5B. I wasn't supposed to drink because I had caught a DUI violation, so they took away my drinking rights. You know what I mean? So, I'm watching the AFC Championship game. I'm drinking a beer. Parole comes over. They come over. They arrest me. I just get a little 45-day drought. I go to Santa Rita. All the violators used to go to a jail called Santa Rita, which is basically the jail for Oakland, Alameda County.
Right, and right down there in Pleasanton Center or Pleasanton, Livermore. San
Ramon, no, Dublin. It's officially in Dublin. Yeah,
officially Dublin. Yeah.
Yeah, so they come. So the way I don't even know these people are following me. So one day I get visits a lot. I'm real close. Contra Costa and Alameda are right next to each other, so it wasn't nothing to get visits. So I get a visit one day, and they call me out normal time, normal everything, except they're like, "Hey, Fisher, your visit's in there," and I'm like, "Oh," because it's the attorney room. It's not. We're in behind glass, and then when they go in that room, it's no good. So I go in there, and two females from the FBI and one guy from the SSU came in there, and they kind of laid down the amount of evidence they had on me on some RICO kind of stuff. And I think they kind of left some of their files open on purpose so I could get a glimpse of some of the stuff that they're not supposed to show me, but they wanted me to know. They're like, "Look, you're basically fucked, bro." You know what I mean? So I'm looking and I'm seeing, letters that I had written to Pelican Bay in codes that the codes have no rhyme or reason to them. So it's not something that could be deciphered by no cryptologist or nothing like that. It was words that me and my cellie had established over a year. Like, hey, if I say this particular word in a sentence, it means this. You know what I mean? So it's not no like fourth letter of each sentence or nothing. Or capitals where they're not supposed to be. None of that lame stuff. So I get to realizing that my communications are being intercepted, and not only that, they're being deciphered by somebody that's in Pelican Bay. Well, the only people that I answer to being a Category 2 member are Cat 3 members, which are the highest. There's like 3 MESA members, which means the table, and then there's 10 captains. Well, I was generating massive amounts of money for these people, and we contribute 25% on all illegal activities to the organization, right? So not only was I doing that, I was doing above and beyond that. I was taking care of I was paying PG&E bills, I was taking family shopping, I was buying kids school supplies. You know what I mean? I went 110%. And so I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I have a poker face though. They're asking me all this stuff. They're like, "Hey, do you know such and such?" I'm like, "No, I never heard of them." And then they go in there, the little harmonica briefcases that kind of opened up, and they're pulling out pictures of me and these individuals. And in my head, I'm like straight poker face, but I'm like, "Oh shit,"
That's his real name.
Yeah, dude. That's exactly what I said one time. They're like, "Do you know Mexican Mike?" I'm like, "No." And then they showed me a picture. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that they called him that." But man, this is how bad it was, man. I'm in nightclubs. And what's that one little town? There's a Livermore. I'm in a nightclub in Livermore. They got pictures of me inside the nightclub. I'm in downtown San Francisco, right by the Civic Center. I'm talking to another NF member. All kinds of pictures, and they're just popping these things out left and right. Yeah. They got a picture of me going through a parking lot with a Macy's bag, and inside the Macy's bag was a half a kilo of some Colombian stuff. Wow. You know what I mean? So it's like at any given time, they could have just swooped down and I'm done. But for some reason, they kept me out there because they wanted something more major. They knew I was the regiment commander for half the Bay Area. And so they were more concerned at the time with the violent kind of stuff. They weren't, I mean, of course they're tripping on drugs, but that's going to be more of an afterthought because we had a lot of internal confrontation in the organization, which was leading to a lot of murders and a lot of attempted murders at the time. So they're trying to, they know ultimately anything in that area of violence would have to be approved through me. So I'm thinking that they're letting me stay out and, building on the weaker cases until they finally get me with the good one. So I sit back for like a week and I'm like, man, one of my superiors is telling on me, and I don't know that for sure, but the leak's not on my end. The leak is definitely inside Pelican Bay. So what I do is I cut off all communications with them. And that's kind of a no-no. They call it being incommunicado. And you got a certain amount of time where you have to figure out a way to talk to them. It's like, well, in my book, these people are following me. They have access to whatever I'm sending to you guys. They've named like the last 7 money orders that I've sent up there. They've named the amount, who they were to, what city they originated from. So I know my whole little thing, as careful as I am, because I don't use drugs, I don't smoke weed, I don't do none of that. So my head stays pretty clear. You know what I mean? A lot of my ex-associates, they're all dope fiends, whatever. So they got their head up their ass, you know what I mean? But I'm on top of my stuff, man. I'm looking out for me, my security, as well as everybody else's. So I don't answer no mail, nothing. They get offended because I was sending them so much money. And it's like, now they seem to think that no money's coming, that like I'm stealing almost. You know what I mean? So I heard they put me on freeze, which is, not necessarily that I'm on the bad news list or nothing, but it means that they halted all my power. And it's like, right, man, you guys are punishing me for being proactive, for watching out for not only myself, but looking out for the whole organization. If I keep feeding them more evidence and they got whatever, man, they got everything. Right. They got not at all.
Hey, and we can call them all the fucking names they want. They ain't fucking stupid.
Man, and it's everybody already knows that too. When the feds come get you, when you get hit by the feds, you're done already. When they come, it's already pretty much over. Yeah, unless you pull some Tekashi 6ix9ine shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. Telling everybody and their mom, but
that's not respectful.
Dude, the feds ain't messing around, bro. You know what I mean? So I cut off everything, and then progressively they just basically said, fuck Rojo. You know what I mean? Well, fuck you.
So when they were like, when you were not giving them any information or sending them money, are you referring to them sending the money in prison? Is that what you were saying?
There's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, you got money orders and stuff, but also there's we got 2 banks, man, that, when you work for this organization, you'll have a Familia bank, which is your bank on the streets, which takes care of street activities. We call them ventures, whether it's drug dealing, prostitution, et cetera. Then you got a main bank, which is the money that goes back to basically to the heads of the organization to distribute how they feel is appropriate. You know what I mean? And they'll just basically send you a PO box or something like that, and that's where their cut will go. And then, the other cuts to be used at my discretion. And what I would do is I would just reinvest it into my local street crew. You know what I mean? Whether I might be buying, more weight of, any kind of number of substances, et cetera, whatever the case may be. So, but yeah, I mean, it was at their discretion mostly where it would go. A lot of it was to females and, other states. And like, I don't know what ultimately ended up happening with it. That's above my pay grade,
Yeah. So once the feds came in, you stopped sending money to the organization. And then what happens after that?
Yeah, like I said, they put me on freeze, which means they froze all my power, which basically means I'm under investigation and whatnot. I tried to have other people get to people that they could talk to safely, in my organization. Like, everybody's got a different channel. Like, I might talk to, Wedo. This guy might talk to Creeper or such. But once your message gets to Pelican Bay, it can pretty much be a little bit more distributed without
distorted.
Yeah. So I tried to send messages to be like, look, this is what happened. This is why I'm not talking to you guys, awaiting further instructions. Never heard nothing. So
is that where the top is? Is that where like the head of NF is in Pelican?
It was, man. Okay.
Got it.
In 2012, they released a lot of the guys that had indeterminate shoes. Indeterminate shoe is a punishment that they give to gang members. Like, okay, say I'm in there, I'm a model inmate. I don't have no fights. I don't have no altercations with staff, nothing. If they say that I'm a member of a gang, that gives them, and they prove it, they can put me in Pelican Bay or Corcoran indeterminately, which was kind of BS back then. They've been fighting it since like the 80s. I think they opened the first, SUE programs in like the 80s. They opened Pelican Bay like 88 or 89, but they took it all the way to the Supreme Court a few times. And eventually they overturned it where they said it was unconstitutional to put somebody in there because they stays in the gang. Like when I got validated as a gang member, okay, like in my time, Norteños aren't prison gang members. They're considered just like a security threat group, basically, which is nobody. Everybody in this damn security threat group to them.
Right.
But then we had like a little midway organization that was referred to as the Northern Structure. It was called that by the administration. The real name of it was Nuestra Raza. And then at the top is the NF. So I got validated as a Nuestra Raza member when I wasn't even a member. Like they totally fabricated. They said that they found paperwork in my cell, which they did. And they said I had tattoos with it. I mean, no, I don't. Like they'll just like, if they can't figure out one of your tattoos, they'll label it how they want to label it.
Exactly.
You know, so anyway, I ended up getting validated, man. I'm 19 years old. I don't know nothing about no prison gang really, you know? So after I got validated, I was like, well, fuck it. I might as well join then. I already got a lifetime term in the shoe. But anyway, to make a long story short, in 2012, they deemed that they can't do that no more. So they let all the people that are validated out of the base. So I don't really know how they do the headquarters right now, but Pelican Bay from 88 or 89, whenever it opened, all the way up to 2012 was always headquarters, yes. Wow. On the streets, it would pretty much be Salinas, California, for the most part.
Yeah.
And then, so once you left the organization, did you have to like still do time because of the feds, or did they kind of let you go if you gave them
No, the feds. See, no, the feds never got nothing out of me. But they kind of had a case against me for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamines to benefit an ongoing criminal organization. However, the individual who was, let's say, the head of that drug department ended up getting murdered in Oakland before the indictments went out. And whoever was the one person telling on that, they weren't willing to take the stand. They provided like information, like, whatever to get like warrants and surveillance, enough to get all that kind of stuff, but they didn't want to take the stand. So when that individual got murdered, they didn't really have no case against me no more. They didn't have me on nothing else, but they so many people told them that I was moving all these pounds of crank and stuff that they basically accepted it as fact. I mean, I never got busted with any dope. You know what I mean? They didn't have me on camera. They didn't have no controlled buys. They didn't have none of that. So did they have me? I mean, man, it's hard to say. Oh yeah, we were moving weight too, man. We were doing it, man. Like personally, just myself, I was doing like 9-10 pounds a week. You know what I mean? And then plus I had guys in my crew doing 2 for me, 3 for me, a half pound for me, quarter pound, etc.
So yeah, we were.
No, this was man, I had this run from like 97 probably until about 02, man. It was a nice 5-year run where we were killing it, you know.
Those were the good money days.
Oh, well, yeah. Plus, I mean, a lot
Are
of
you sure you guys don't know each other?
No, we've probably been around in the same little circle, though,
right.
Man. I'm sure he's been around a while. I know a lot of people, too. But, man, at the time, man, they were going anywhere from like 5,000 to 6,500 a piece for those particular products. Man, I was getting them for 32, so there was no way I could lose because we were getting 90 at a time.
Fuck, cakes of blow were going for 15 back then.
dude, ounces of blow were going for 15 right now.
Oh yeah, I know. I heard.
It's crazy, bro.
That's crazy,
man. But yeah, we killed it, man, for about those 5 years. And yeah, I was fortunate. You know, I'm a pretty careful dude. You know what I mean? And I keep my circles small. Like even when I was in charge of all them regiments, nobody really knew it. You know, I'd have other people like basically as spokesmen, you know what I mean? And I would deal with maybe 1 or 2 people from a couple different towns. And I'd be like, this is what we need to do. I need you to take care of this. So they'd go out and they'd do all the, because I'm not the best talker in the world either. You know what I mean? I don't have a lot of tolerance for, you know, sitting there and just yapping. So I got people that they're professional speakers, man. Hey, go tell these dudes this, go tell these dudes that. And so I kind of stayed out of the limelight too, you know, and a lot of people would look at me and be like, you know, at the time, man, I'm a 20-something-year-old white dude. And I'm like the second youngest member of the NF ever. And at the time, I was only like the 3rd or 4th white person ever. So like people automatically, they would look to everybody. Like if I'm in a group of 5 dudes, I'm not the one they'd look at as the boss. off top. You know what I mean? I'm the goofy little white dude with the long ass Mongolian trying to fit in with the Mexicans or something. You know what I mean?
Speaking Mexican Spanish.
Yeah, I didn't draw attention like that, man. I mean, the FBI knew who I was. You know what I mean? But like on the streets, as far as people just randomly trying to like snitch on me or trying to pinpoint, you know, who's the mastermind, it wasn't me.
What's a Mongolian?
Haircut.
Man, it's like a tail that comes out from the top right here, like the old samurai guys used to wear. They call it a top knot. Like the samurai guys call it a top knot, but it's a Mongolian. I had one that was like that long.
And now it's called a man bun.
Now when they roll it up,
yeah. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's uncomfortable any way you look at it.
Is your junk a hairy shit show? Is your partner coughing up too many hairballs? Say no to wax, razors, and lasers. And yes, to the Lawnmower 3.0 by Manscaped. Its skin-safe technology prevents ingrown hairs, irritation, blood, sweat, and tears, ensuring smooth entry and great head without the hair. And your partner can kiss that pube floss goodbye. Use on your back, balls, boobs, and butthole. It's time to say bye-bye to the bush and hello to the Lawnmower 3.0 by Manscaped. Visit Manscaped at manscaped.com today.
That's funny. So there's books. I mean, I guess your boy Flaco wrote a book. Is that true?
No, Flaco hasn't wrote no book. That'd be Boxer.
Oh, Boxer. That's what
Boxer from San Francisco, man. He's got a Nuestra Familia, A Broken Paradigm. And it's actually a real good book. I've known Boxer since like 94 or 95, and everything he says, you know, I can kind of co-sign that it's a factual book. He's not just sitting there blowing nothing up or nothing like that. It's good reading.
It mentions you in the book.
Yeah, I'm in the book, yes.
By name?
Yeah, unfortunately. You know, I'm at the point, though, I don't care no more, man. If you're going to come see me, I'm not hard to find. You know what I mean? Bring your best, because I'm not going to lay down. You know, I'm going to defend myself and my family to the fullest.
Hell yeah.
So it's like whatever. But no, Boxer's a friend of mine, so it don't matter.
I want to talk about your YouTube channel, but before that, do you have any are you ever worried about talking about any of this stuff? I mean, are there ever any repercussions about talking about old secrets in Nuestra Familia or anything like that? Or because clearly on your channel, you don't hold anything back. So what are your thoughts?
You know, I actually refrain from saying stuff that would really probably piss him off, because I'm low on the list, man. I like I said, I didn't tell on nobody. I didn't give up no crimes. There's a lot of people who have.
Yeah.
So, you know, their numbers, you know, them on the list are here. I'm like, you got to look down there to see me. You know what I mean? Do they want me? Yeah, probably. It's like, whatever, you know, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't say anything to be totally disrespectful to them people, because I actually still have a lot of respect for a lot of them. You know what I mean? I'm not going to implicate nobody in nothing, you know, because I'm not into all the telling and stuff. You know, it's bad enough I walked away. People are fucking drop. Oh, well, yeah, it's true. You can't whoop me, though. So, you know, just shut up and keep it moving. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I choose what I say still, though. You know, I don't want to be too offensive. Yeah. If I can't, there's some things that I can't say, you know.
There's no reason to be disrespectful. They don't do good for nobody.
Well, I'll tell people in private, like if somebody has a question, you know, that I don't feel comfortable asking publicly on a public platform, I'll answer you in private. You know, you can email me, fucking whatever, and be like, hey, you know, keep this between us. This is the answer to your question. But I'm not going to piss them off too much, man. You know what I mean?
No reason for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So going back to the Convicts Perspective on YouTube, first of all, it's fairly new, and you guys are thriving. You guys have almost 1 million views, which is a lot for a beginning YouTube channel. Do you want to tell all of our listeners about what that is and what they can expect when they go and watch that channel?
Yeah, it's okay. It's a Convicts Perspective. We try to drop a video every day, Monday through Saturday.
Oh, damn.
Sundays haven't done good as far as views and stuff. So we kind of just left Sunday out, let it take a break. But we discuss everything, man. We've discussed stuff like the recidivism rate in CDC. We've discussed the history of San Quentin. We've discussed excessive kind of somewhat kind of like police brutality stuff, but as far as correctional officers go, you know, and what else? What to expect in the shoe, you know, the history of the Nuestra Familia itself. Right now, the two main Latino gangs in there are the Nuestra Familia and the Mexican Mafia, and they kind of have a peace treaty right now going through the whole California prison system. So we discussed that because, you know, since the NF started back in the mid 60s, it's been war and there's never been no peace treaty, you know, nothing like that. And when they got out of the shoe, they agreed to coexist on these main lines, which has never happened before in the history of both of these groups. So, oh yeah, no doubt. Well, what it is, nobody wants to go back to the shoe. What happened? I mean, some of them guys have been in there, like I said, since the 80s. They cut them out loose to these main lines. And, you know, it sounds messed up to say, but man, you get out of the shoe to a main line, it's almost like being at home now. You can get out of your cell. You can go outside. You can use the phone. You can, you know, Pelican Bay, I've never seen a phone. You know what I mean? You don't get to make phone calls, you know, and it's so far, man. It's Crescent City. It's, you know, 15 miles outside of Oregon. So, I mean, just me living in the Bay Area, it's an all-day event for your family to come visit you for a half hour behind glass. You know, and that's not even the LA people and the San Diego people and the Fresno. Right. You know, they got to travel. That's a lot to ask of your family, man. You know, especially if, you know, you go to prison and you've been the primary breadwinner for your household. Man, now they're already strained with you being gone, and they're having to put money on your books and help you out. And now they got to travel all these hours for a half hour. It's like, it ain't even right. So part of the deal with all them getting out of the shoe was they agreed not to take off on each other no more. And so far that's held up, man, for quite a few years now. So, I mean, it's better for everybody, you know, because I mean, the blacks and the whites are getting along. The North and the South are playing handball together. And
it's just crazy from fucking years ago,
bro. It's weird. You know, I can't even imagine that in my time. Like, when I was there, you know, the most thing you would say to a Sereno is like, oh, you know, pardon me, you know, if you know what I mean? Something like that. Or if they ask you a direct question, you were allowed to acknowledge them. If they said, hey, how you doing? You could be like, I'm doing all right. How about yourself? You know, but like, as far as just sitting there chit-chatting or playing handball, I guess they're eating together. And it's like, what?
Wow. I didn't know they're on the same yard together.
Oh, they're partying, dude. It's like,
that's crazy.
Back in my day, man, they catch you. They're tattooing on each other. That would have got you. What? That would have got you a big slice across your face a few years ago. You know, and it's like, man, why couldn't they have done that when I was in there? Everybody get along. Nobody be catching, 15 years for getting off in a riot or whatnot. But yeah, man, times have changed for sure.
That's for the better.
I don't remember where we were going with that. I just kind of rambled on that one.
No, it's all good. This is all fascinating because I mean I've never been to prison. Hopefully I never go there because God knows what would happen to me there.
See, Drake, I don't understand. Drake, I don't understand that. You see, if they sent me to prison with all women, I'd be fucking stoked, right? Like fuck, this is like heaven. Since you're gay, Drake, I don't see why you wouldn't be happy as hell. It's like sending you to marry.
Hey, they got a gang in there you could join too. They got a gang called the Gay Boy Gangsters.
No shit, huh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm looking this up. The Gay Boy Gangsters.
Oh, it's real talk. It's a California SNY gang, man. They probably got tired of being fucked with, because everybody's gonna assume gay people are easy target. It's like, don't get it twisted,
fight, bro.
Bro, one of our main rules as Northerners is to never disrespect a homosexual, because what if that dude beats your ass?
Now
how do you look? How do you look? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you want to keep fucking with this dude? That's still a man. And he's been fighting his whole life. He's been gay since he was a young man. They leave them people alone, bro. Fuck around, get a broke jaw. Yeah.
I know, right? Okay,
damn.
Drake looking this up now. He's gonna have someone on our show.
This is great. I'm loving this. You just opened up a whole new world.
Yes, this is fucking
Gay Boy Gangsters, boy.
They beat your ass and then they break into the YMCA dance.
Oh, dude, that'd be the worst. You'd have to PC up for sure, man. You couldn't face your own boys no more. Oh, fuck. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you a story about a homosexual, man. I'm in Susanville, and like I'm old enough where they still had weights in California when I was going to prison. Right?
What year they quit weights? I remember.
And I want to say it was like 96, 97, right around there somewhere. Yeah.
What's weights?
You're lifting weights.
Lifting weights.
Weights are there.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Hey, so I go to prison. I'm a skinny dude, man. I probably weigh $170. I'm like 260 now, but when I go, I'm skinny as shit, man. And I start to work out, man. Well, one day there's a Samoan homosexual, and this fool had on some Daisy Dukes, then made him a purse out of like some jeans, like sewed up some jeans into a purse. And he used to switch and snap around the yard, right? And the other Usos, the other Samoans and Tongans, they're like, hey, TJ, let's see what you can do. He's like, no, I don't lift weights. It's so funny, right? Hey, that fool went in there and hit 400 like 7 times.
No shit. On a bench.
And I was just like, all right, I got to start working out, bro. You know what I mean? Because how am I going to be like, I want your soups? Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude got makeup on and shit. Like, I'm not getting my soup took by some dude with makeup.
That's funny.
Yeah, I seen some hogs in there back when they had weights, though, man. I seen a black dude, bro. He hit 13 quarters, man, which is 650.
Wow.
Hey, 12 times in a row.
No fucking shit. Hey, unnatural.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're on level 1 yard. You probably could have got some juice in there, but I highly doubt it because people are going to be more. They're not going to. No, they're not going to be shoving juice up their ass. They're going to be, they're going for heroin and crank and shit. You know what I mean? But that was the most impressive thing.
I could want to be spun out in a little box.
They're in there, bro.
I know, but that would be the worst.
They're in there. Oh man, in Cocoa County, bro. I was on Sea Mauser one time, and bro, the woods hit like 2 ounces of that old P2P stuff.
Yes, that's been around since 2000.
You been to Martinez?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Martinez, West County.
Okay. Have you been there back in the day when you used to be able to get a contact visit in Martinez? Are you of that age group?
They put me in there for like a day, then I go straight to West County.
Okay, well, check this out, man. If you used to be on, in Martinez in the main jail, if you were good for 30 days, no write-ups, back when I first started going there in like 93, you could get a contact visit after a month, right in the attorney visiting rooms.
Yeah.
And your people would come. Well, I mean, the white boys ruined it for everybody, bro. Bro, they were bringing in
everything.
Bro, they were bringing in ounces of crank, ounces of heroin. And,
it's Martinez, though, dude. That was the original fucking meth hill.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. But, man, it was just, man, everybody's up for like a fucking week. They're running around with the microwaves and shit, bro. It's crazy, man.
No food getting delivered. Don't eat it.
No, they don't want that stuff, man.
How come no one's eating the sandwiches? The dry ass bologna sandwich with 2% milk.
Oh God! Yeah, that place is something else.
Still smells like piss. They never got rid of that piss smell. That place.
Nah, that place is all bad, bro.
West County's nice though. I like West County. You ever go key to your room? You shower by yourself. It's nice.
I remember when that place first opened, man. Now they have fences around each individual building and yard. Yeah. Man, it used to be you could walk from 5 and go into 7. The only one you couldn't go to was 8 because that's where they had the women. But used to be it's way more restrictive now than it used to be. I haven't been there in years though, but yeah, it's not cool. West County used to be all right though, as far as doing time.
Can we go through the list of prisons that both of you guys have been to?
I've never been to prison. I only went to jail.
Or jails?
Just Martinez, West County.
Just two?
I've been to the starting as an adult, I went to the Fort Bend County Jail in Texas. That's a suburb of Houston. Out here, I've been to Contra Costa, the Martinez Jail, Richmond. I've even been out to Clayton to the farm.
Never made the farm.
Oh, farm's dope, bro.
Yeah, I know. I always said that. I never got to make it there.
It's hard to last out there because they're so petty. You know what I mean? But the police are real petty.
Send some little tweaks down, run over the creek, throw cigarettes.
Oh, from DVR? Send it from DVR. Yeah. Oh, man, I was hitting big out there, bro. We were getting cartons and, smoke and crank. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we were killing it out there, man. Bro, and there was you never even had to buy tobacco or weed out there. There was so much of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You couldn't even sell it because so many people were giving it away. But let's see. My first term, I go to Quentin. I go to Susanville. I ended up going to like 3 fire camps. Finally got kicked out of fire camp. They got tired of my misbehavior. I ended up back on the 3 yard in Susanville. Parole from there. Go to San Quentin to the hole, and I got validated there. And then I went to Pelican Bay, back to Quentin on a violation. Pelican Bay, back to Quentin on a violation. Pelican Bay. Then I stayed out of trouble for like about 8 years. And then I caught like a 4-year bid. And I did about 13 months in Martinez fighting the case because I knew I still had the indeterminate shoes. So if I'm in Martinez, I got action at the phone and visits and all that kind of stuff. as soon as I go to prison, I don't get none of that because I got the indeterminate shoes still, so I'm going straight to the hole. So I kept waving time. I got to eat up about 13 months in Martinez. Damn, I did about 4 or 5 months up in Sutter County, up in Yuba City, California. Mm-hmm. And I finished my term off in the hole in Tracy, you know what I mean? And those are the only ones I touched. I've been to Solano for a couple of days on a courtesy parole, but just in the hole, you know what I mean? Nothing, not a term or nothing.
Sure, Corey back then, he did like a couple of years of Martinez fighting the case.
Who did?
Corey.
Which Corey?
Hey, Corey was with the dog pound out here. Conquered.
Corey Williams.
Yep.
He's on death row.
Yeah, he's on death row now.
Yeah, I know him well.
Yeah, I do. Man, we were real close. He was on for those 2 murders out in Orinda.
Dog pound, Corey Williams.
Yep,
so you
that?
Do you know Nonyo and all them guys too?
Yeah,
and Joker and all them cats. Yep. Egyptian Sal.
No. Oh wait, yeah, Sal. I knew Sal.
They deported him to fucking London or something.
Yeah, fucking what's his name? George Moscota. He got fucking down to fucking Mexico. He got deported him after 10 years.
I don't remember him.
From some of the Hawaii shit.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, long time ago stuff. Back in the 99.
Yeah. No, Corey was a good friend of mine, man.
Corey's cool. I mean, fuck, he's crazy as fuck, but he's cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
I think he fought 3 murders, I think.
Yeah.
Cambridge Park. Yeah, the 2 Orindas. With Lola Hia and them. Fuck.
Yeah. Dalton. Old Dalton.
Yeah.
Lolo's cool too, man.
Yeah. Lola
Hia. Good people.
Yep. All those dudes were.
Yeah, you make one mistake though and see what happens.
Yep.
I knew Corey was destined for life, man.
Oh yeah, since fucking we were like 16, dude. I knew that.
Yeah.
He was a nut back then. But when I first time went to Martinez, I was when I busted in 2000. Hey, what's up, bro? What you doing? Come on, fucking new slippers, extra pillow, fucking commentary. Yeah. I was like, what's up?
I should write him actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, I haven't talked about it in a while. Yeah.
Well, I've actually got him here. He's on he's on hold. No, I'm just
kidding. Yeah, that'd be cool though. He's
2021. You never know, man. 2021, anything's possible.
You know, it's kind of weird though when you sit here and be like, "Yeah, that dude on death row, he's a good dude." It just sounds weird though, but he is, man. He's cool people, man. He made some major mistakes, but
he did. But hey, down as a motherfucker.
No doubt. He won't tell on you either.
Nope. And if he had your back, trust me, he had your back.
100%. Yeah, good dude, man. I like him.
Well, one thing that's great about your show is you guys are doing this to try to help the youth not be a part of this kind of lifestyle. Is that correct?
Yeah, man. Like a lot of people, I know it's probably the same for almost every group, man. You got your Northerners that are going to look up to the NF and think, I want to aspire to be like these guys. They have all the power. They have all the say-so. They get all the money. The white boys are going to look up to whoever they look up to, Fame, Nazi Lowriders, AB. I mean, whoever they look up to that's doing whatever they're doing. The Sereños are going to look up to the Mexican Mafia. You know what I mean? So I want to give them a firsthand point of view. It's like, man, like I'm really well educated as far as the ultimate goals of this organization. And it's way different than what they preach to you. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to give you a firsthand account. It's like, don't be, I could show you a nice shiny gold chain, but it's plated. You know what I mean? When you get past the plating, you're left with some trash. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying everybody in that group's just like, just not a good person, because there's a lot of them that are awesome people, bro. You know what I mean? That's the same for anybody. But you can't be fooled in, because they preach a lot of like carnalismo, which is basically a word for unity. You know what I mean? They preach a lot of for the benefit of the people, man. To be honest, man, it's for the benefit of the very top leadership. 0.001% of this whole movement, the Nuestra Familia, the Norte. There's only this, man. The movement's this big. The people benefiting are that big. You know what I mean? And you're expendable.
Pyramid scheme.
You're expendable as hell. If you're not a lifer, and you're not, one of about, I'm going to say 12 or 13 individuals at the very top, you ain't worth the shit to them people. You're just another person to contribute as much money as they can get out of you before you fall or before you get killed. And I'm not naive enough to think it's only with the NF. That's the same with any one of them fucking prison gangs, man. It's just the truth. Only a few people are reaping the benefits of all the sacrifice that other people do. all the criminal activities, all the man years incarcerated, all the killings. You know what I mean? They misrepresent themselves and their objectives. And I'll leave it at that, man. And I'm just trying to explain through my experience and what I've seen. And I'm not going to lie to nobody. I'm going to tell you straight up how it is. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you feel it, whatever. Don't be misled because they give you a glamorous picture. It's like, on the commercials when they show these new burgers at the store and then you go look at it and you're like, this don't look like they showed me on the commercial. It's the same thing, man. You're going to come up short.
The taco truck's been fooling me lately on the way to work early in the morning. And the sandwich, the half sandwich, like packed with fucking these breakfast sausages. Man, it's like this deep in there. The rest was bread.
They put that in the front clear part. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, I just want people like, man, I wasted, shit. All said and done, man, between juvenile, between doing time in the Texas Youth Commission and all my juvenile time, adult time, county time. I gave away about 14 years of my life. I'm 46 years old. And what's messed up, man, is, I had a lot of time to make up for, man. I had to kind of adjust socially, man, because you kind of get, man, when you go to jail, where your maturity is as an adult in life and things that really matter and jobs and building relationships with people and not burning bridges, you get stunted in there, man. Because you're so focused on, like, especially us, it's organized crime. I'm focused on building this imaginary empire that's never really going to be built because the feds are watching your fucking day because they know who you are. You know what I mean? So you kind of get stunted, man. So, man, I didn't even become a mature man. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a man, but I wasn't like a productive grown man on the streets that could be a father that could be looked up to correctly, and a husband somebody could be proud of. The things that men should try to be in real life. And man, you slowly got to make up, man. 14 years is a lot of repressed social adjustment. You know what I mean? And I'm just barely getting to the point now where I feel like I act my age. You get what I'm saying, though? You kind of get suppressed in there because, man, you lose all the interactions you do in there. They're make-believe, kind of, in a sense. They're I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but it's stuff that don't matter. You're not developing, as you're developing in prison. In prisons, it ain't shit. Who gives a damn about no prison? You know what I mean? So it's been a long adjustment to where I feel like even though I've been out, I think I finally caught up to myself where I would have been hadn't I done all that time. I've always been smart. I've always, been with the business and whatnot. But, being right in society and being a gangster in prison, man, they're way different, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to relay that to people. Like, I try to teach my kids about credit and, stuff like that, man, you come out of jail, bro, you might have your GED and all this and that. Man, you don't understand how important all these other little things are that you're missing out on, that you're not learning, man. We didn't learn that shit in school. We didn't learn about credit cards and how important your credit was and all that kind of shit. So, whatever I can teach somebody based on my experience, I try to lace them up with it. If they take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. I feel obligated to share. That's all.
Are you working with any programs? Like on the
Not currently, man. There's been a couple people that have been hitting us up lately, man. But there's an organization out of Frisco.
COVID fucking people for groups, doing group things, but outreaches for kids. Back when we used to call them outreaches when we were kids, right? Outreach programs.
Yeah. There's some guys out in San Francisco that have contacted me, but like you said, everything's kind of slowed down right now. They're not wanting to get a lot of people together, Right. So it's in the future though. That any kind of thing I could do that could open other doors to, continue, both not only making myself do okay financially with doing the videos, because I can't do them for free. I can't sit here and donate all that. I get paid for doing it, but the more avenues that open, the farther that the spread can go. I'm willing to do whatever to, whatever it could be to, if somebody has some questions for me, I'll try to answer them honestly as I can. No, you don't want to go that route, bro. I promise you, I've been at the very top of that shit. I've had to make life and death decisions. I've had to do things to people with pieces of metal that, man, I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? And the next person, you come in there thinking that shit's cool. they're going to put a piece of metal in your hand at some point in time. And if you don't do it, they're going to put a piece of metal in you. So it's like, man, you think you're cool out on the streets, being in all these little, oh, I'm cool, I got a gang. Man, there ain't no cars to drive away in after you shoot people. There ain't none of that. There's going to be 30 people that you just fucked up their homeboy. You know what I mean? It's a different world, man. And
you're right.
People just don't understand it, man. You go to these county jails, level 1s and 2s, man, it gets different. It gets different. It's not what people seem to think it is. They think gangbang is cool. There's nothing cool about it.
So your outlet mainly right now is a YouTube. Yeah, you do websites or is it Instagrams?
Yeah, we haven't started nothing like that, man. All we have is we have a Convicts Perspective. You know what I mean? On the YouTube, and it's me and my boy Flaco. He's also a ex-NF member as well, and we work with another one called Stories by a Current Prisoner. He's got a really big following. Flaco does a lot of interviews for him, and I've been on that. I've done 5 or 6 episodes on that, but we're gonna expand out, man. We've been thinking about doing something similar to you guys, starting a podcast. You know what I mean? But we're taking this YouTube. We're building this YouTube up first to try to get us a fan base. So when we do incorporate other, platforms that we're going to put out, we already have a group where we can be like, hey, check us out here. Also, so on and so forth. But I talked to a gentleman earlier, and I'm going to make an Instagram and stuff like that. But a Convicts Perspective on YouTube, that's our main outlet.
Yeah, I'd definitely get a Instagram going. That we can start hashtagging your episodes when you're doing things, and that spreads out like wildfire. It's a great source of advertisement and get it out there.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been surprised, man. We started, like I said, the 21st of December, and we're already pushing, it's like 5,700 subs. So, I figured doing a couple interviews with, guys like you, man, if you guys got X amount, maybe I get 3% of your guys' viewers to check me out. That helps me grow. And I just want to continue to do that, continue to get big. So, man, I can just keep spreading the word to more and more people. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But my conscience can be clear that I try to tell people to do the right thing. Don't make that mistake. That's it.
Well, it's definitely working, and people are seeming to love it. Do you have any pushback? Like, I didn't get a chance to troll any of the comment sections yet of any of the shows, but are you guys getting any haters or anybody that's like, hey, fucking take this shit down?
No, man, surprisingly enough, I've lost track of how many videos I got. We'll say I got 35 because we're close to that. Out of the, I don't know, 50,000 comments we've maybe got 20 people talking shit. You know what I mean? So I'll just insult them really bad real quick, and then I'll block them before they can answer me. You know what I mean?
That's what Jimmy does on his
dude,
page.
Some dude wrote me like a whole thing like this, telling me what a piece of shit I am, and I'm just like, hey, why don't you suck my dick from the back, and then block him real quick, so he don't even get his chance to answer. But no, man, surprisingly, I figured there'd be a lot more because I've been on some other prison genre channels, and I've seen them just battering these guys, you piece of shit, punk motherfucker. And no, they haven't gave us the business too bad, man. But I'm not out there acting like I'm this Billy Badass dude. I'm just telling stories, man. I'm down to fucking joke and shit and laugh. If you find something to hate about me, hey, that's you. But if you talk too much shit, I'll just block you, man. I'm not going to keyboard warrior with you. There's no point. You know what I mean? If you see me on the streets, man, beat the shit out of me. Show me.
That's how I feel about it too.
Hey, kick my ass, bro, please. You know what I'm saying? I need my ass whooped. Whoop my ass. But I'm not going to sit there and
I'm the same way.
People, yeah, it's pointless.
Yeah. Billy Badass sitting with a cocktail behind his fucking computer, wearing his wife's underwear.
Dude, in his mom's basement, fucking talking shit on YouTube, gay porn, working on the other.
He's part of the gay boy gangsters.
Shit. Oh, he is for sure. Them dudes are extra tough, dude.
There was one thing I was absolutely fascinated by, and I had to ask you. You were kind of talking about, it seemed basically like prison etiquette, and you were saying like when someone new would come into like the prison, that you guys would like form a certain formation and like kind of like protect this person. That was I didn't really understand it fully, but. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yeah, you're referring to the story we did on Quentin, man, and especially the 6 yard. The 6 yard is basically it's the validated northern yard. I mean, so you'll have your NF members, your NR members, and then you'll have the black BGF dudes and the Kumi dudes. Those are two black gangs. What is this? It's not so much to protect that person. Okay, when you go in, there's a gate right here. You go in through one gate. On this yard will be the blacks and the northerners. On this yard is the white boys and the Sureños. Well, when you go in this first door, they uncuff you because you're cuffed behind the back. And then they have little levers that either open the door to your yard or to the other yard. Well, the reason that they stand in that formation by the fence is because at any given time, they could accidentally open the wrong door for the wrong inmate and say they open it for, an Aryan Brotherhood dude. He's obligated by his people's policy to run in there and take flight on the black dudes. You know what I mean? It's mandatory for them. If I'm in that thing and they accidentally open the white boy and Sureño ones, I'm automatically obligated to take off on the Sureños. You know what I mean? Jesus. So they form a little perimeter around the gate. So one person, if one person gets through, two people from each group can handle one person. 9.5 times out of 10, unless George St. Pierre comes through that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's a bad little motherfucker, though.
You know what I mean? But and another thing too is it's like a little thing of respect, man. You'll go in, you'll shake hands, and then you go line of formation. It's trying to instill like a militant mindset in you. You're standing in formation, good posture, all this and that. It's just a lot of peacocking, basically. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of it's to do with yard security. Because the wrong gate could pop at any time. So you want to have people that are ready to deal with any kind of potential threat to you and yours.
And what if you show up to San Quentin and you're not associated with any gang? How do you is everybody basically in a gang, or are there people who are just like, I don't fuck with any of this?
That's hard, man, because even though some people are in a gang, they may not be obligated to do some things like the black gangs are like the Crips and the Bloods. They don't really have mandatory guidelines that they necessarily have to follow as a whole collective. Like if you're a Northern, if you're a Southern, or if you're an active white boy, there are things that you have to do as a group. If the white boys say, hey, we're going to exercise today, you're going to exercise. That's all there is to it. It's not negotiable. If the Northerners are going to take flight on, let's say, the Pisces today, every Northerner is going to take flight unless the person in charge picks out certain individuals to do that. But like say a riot kicks out between the Northerners and the Pisces, every Northerner is expected to participate. If a riot breaks out between the whites and the Crips, all the other black dudes don't have to participate, just the Crips. So, there's different levels of gangs in jail. You got some white dudes that come in there. Yeah, they kind of got to run wood. Is that necessarily a gang? No. You know what I mean? But it's the same with Norteños, even though they get labeled a little differently. Norteños aren't really in a gang, man. The only gangs really are the NF, the MA, the AB, the NLR, BGF. They're not really around. Kumi. Those are the only people that are kind of like obligated to, man, those are the only gangbangers. I don't know how to really explain it, man, but being a regular white boy in there, it doesn't make you a gang member. A lot of others come in, Native Americans. It's real hard to be a Latino and try to say you're not in a gang. I've seen a lot of Latinos try to do it, and they try to claim Paisa, but then they don't even speak Spanish. They talk like me, and so then each one of the other groups are going to be like, well, what's this fool trying to hide? He's not no Paisa. Right. So that if you try to go in as a Latino and you try to say you're not in a gang, they're going to think you're a pussy, essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Latinos got it hardest in jail, man. You know what I mean? The white boys got a lot of rules too. The white boys used to have it real easy. When I first came, I see the white boys like sunbathing in the yard and shit in their boxers and suntan lotion, and you know what I mean? But now they run a real militant program now too. Their conduct's changed over the years. But you can get away with not being a gang as long as you don't come in portraying that you're in a gang and then try to say you're not. You know, you could come in and be like, hey, I'm John. I'm from Daly City. I'm not with the politics. you may, or depending on where you're at, you may or may not be expected to participate in if any violence just erupts. The thing with prison, man, is every yard's different, even in the same prison. You know, Pelican Bay, A yard, B yard, there could be one whole different policy on each different yard, and the households could be run real different. The expectations from each race or gang on their people could be different. Every unique place you go in prison is just like being in a different state here. You know what I mean? You go to Oklahoma and you're like, what the fuck are these people talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you go to Louisiana, like, oh, down by the creek above, you can do some fishing. Like, you know, it's like that though in every prison. It's always a different experience, and each individual, their experience is going to vary as well, depending on who are around, who's holding the keys for that yard, meaning who's calling the shots for that yard. Yeah. There's so much. It's hypothetical. It's hard to put into words, man. But no, to answer that question though, now you don't have to gangbang. No, will it be harder on you as a person? Probably a little bit. You know what I mean? Your time will be a little rougher because you could be subject to being. You know, there's bullies in prison, man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? There's gonna be people who try to test you and shit, be like, hey, let me get a couple of those noodles, I'll get you back. And then they're like, man, I ain't getting you back. Fuck you. You ain't no gang. There ain't nobody to back you up. What are you gonna do? And then, you know, do I take off on him? Well, he's a Crip. There's 32 of his homeboys right there. They're gonna beat the dog shit out of me. You know what I mean? So it's harder to not gangbang, but it's smarter. You'll go home on your date more than likely. You know, you want to be in a gang, you can fuck around going there with 3 years and end up with 27 real fast.
Right.
Yeah. Shit. Some of them prisons, man, you get in a fight and you draw blood, man, they're trying to wash you, dude. Other ones, man, you could cut somebody and not get a DA referral or nothing. But some, man, you punch somebody and they knock out a teeth. Yeah, bro.
A simple fist fight for me is a terrorist act. Like, it's a fucking fist fight, man. What do you want me to shoot the motherfucker?
Yeah.
You know?
No. I mean, that's California too, man.
Come on vacation, leave on probation.
Bro, California is so ridiculous.
That's what they've always said to people. Hey, you come out to California on vacation.
That's the truth, man. That's the truth, 100%.
Do you guys think anything's going to change? Like Biden said he's stopping
Harris
all the
put more months. Fuck him.
No, but he was saying that, or he signed an executive order to
what is that?
He didn't even know what he was signing already. I know he didn't know what he was signing. Fuck.
To end the contracts of private prisons. Is that going to affect anything in the future?
Happen.
I think that's good. Well, Democrats like that kind of stuff, bro. They're almost pro-criminal. Like, okay, I'm a Republican, bro. I don't blame the cops for me going to jail. I don't blame the COs. I don't blame the judges. I don't blame the DAs. I have what's called accountability for my own fucking actions.
Right.
I broke into them jewelry stores and stole that jewelry. I took them guns out of the fucking White Bear gun store in Concord. I'm the one who did that. Nobody made me do that. Oh yeah, I shut that place down. Hey, you know what I mean? Like all the dope I sold, and I did that. Nobody made me do that. The Democrats are like pro-victim, man. You know what I mean? And I don't get it. You know, a lot of people ain't gonna like me saying that, but you gotta have accountability, man. And them private prisons, I don't think nobody should be making money off your incarceration. I think that's kind of fucked up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I will cost $5 and fucking this.
I will agree with them on that, but like, bro, back in the days, man, I commit a crime, I go to prison. Nowadays, it's like I'm finding all these. Oh, well, he's just disadvantaged kind of shit. Man, maybe I was disadvantaged. You know what I mean? Right. Like times have changed so much, man. But as far as the private prisons go, man, they should get rid of them. I mean, there's too much incentive for there to be crooked stuff going on to make sure that, you know, you stay there and get some more time because that's securing a lot of people's paychecks and this and that. You know, and that's even true with the state. They get $120 a day per inmate. They don't want to see you succeed because then they got to lay people off. If nobody keeps coming back to prison, they got to let go guards. Their funding goes down. They lose $120 a day per person.
I'm sure Kamala Harris will help that out.
No, it's the opposite.
She's such a fucking moron.
She put more fucking people in prison and then hid evidence that people had innocence just to prove their innocence to get out.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that shit. That bitch fucked up so many people.
Yeah, no, she's
a piece of shit.
Yeah, don't get me started. We could sit here for hours and talk about them.
Your boy Trump loved private prisons, and he had a lot of lobbyists.
Get out.
He's obsessed. He's into capitalism, though, so yeah, that makes sense. You know?
So like, look at this: Core Civic and GEO Group in 2019, both of them each had over $2 billion in revenue.
Ooh, damn, that's a lot of people in prison.
Hey, I'll tell you
trying to get rid of that.
Kamala put them there when she was a DA, so don't worry about it.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. I'm not going to lie. I don't believe in private prisons, but if I own one, best believe I'd still own it. I wouldn't be selling it. I mean, right? I'm into capitalism, bro. But ethically, I don't think it's right. But shit, if I inherit one tomorrow, I'm going to run that motherfucker.
Same.
Like trailer park.
You know what I mean? Like whatever.
We're going on an hour. You want to plug your websites right now for us?
Oh man, all I really have is a Convicts Perspective, and it's 3 words: a Convicts Perspective on YouTube. Like I said, we drop at least, man, we never miss 5 videos a week. We're a prison and gang based genre, but we're really contemplating branching out and talking about more things than just that, because you can only talk about so many prison stories, and I talked to Chris earlier. I could give you war stories up the ass, you know what I mean? But I'm trying to keep it more positive, and you're really going to run out of positive things to say. Right. I could tell you messed up stories about, people getting their whole teeth knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Their insides falling out from a razor blade, whatever.
Oh,
but I'm trying to keep it positive, because like I said earlier, man, that opens more doors for us. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Good energy.
Well, yeah, I might get hired to do a seminar, just, something about gangs for somebody, some little group out there that wants to talk to kids or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I try to stay away from the negatives and try to keep it positive, man. But we're trying to branch out. We're going to start talking about some other things, politics, like we just touched on briefly here, and, sports, current events, whatever it might be, man. We're not just going to, even though that's going to still be our base, our bread and butter. I think we could discuss a lot more things, with, a lot of forethought and, honest answers. And, we neither one of us are dumb dudes, so we'll break things down and offer great opinions. And we're real interactive with our viewers. We do a lot of questions and answers, and we're always, hey, if you have any comments, you have any questions, feel free. And like I said, if it's something that I don't feel comfortable saying publicly, I'll email it to you. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're trying to blow our stuff up, man. We're trying to touch as many people as we can with our stories, and answer as many questions and try to steer people, with a lot of experience. I mean, between me and him, we're 30-something years of prison experience, and 20-something years of organized crime, prison gang, Department of Justice, violent offender gang. You know what I mean? And we'll answer it 100% to try to veer you off that path, man, because there's 2 choices, man. You're going to prison for life, or you're going to die.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, dude, we appreciate you taking the time tonight and coming on our show. And when 100%. you get really desperate and you need guests, me and Jimmy will come on.
Hey, we could do that, man. It'll be fun, man. And yeah, we're more of a free talking forum. Like, there's a lot of prison genres that they'll interview people or they'll do profiles. We kind of just have free speech on topics, you know what I mean, and give our opinion or, state our experiences if it's something we've experienced personally. But yeah, man, it'd be a blast. We'll get you guys on there. Shit. Wait till we get like 20,000 people, man. So it's a little more worth your time, We'll get you guys on there for sure.
I look forward to you coming back too, man. When you guys get something going.
Hey, anytime.
Come back on.
Yeah, no doubt, bro.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. We appreciate you. And
I appreciate you guys.
Everyone go check out A Convicts Perspective on YouTube. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Hey, and I just want to say one last thing, man. Yeah. Thanks to the mutual friend of ours for hooking this up, man. We'll just call him Big JD.
Or Big. Shout out to Silky.
Oh, Tuda. We'll call him Tuda. All right, gentlemen. Appreciate you guys, man.
Later.